That blurry, gritty feeling in your eyes when you first wake up. What if it's a sign that your precious eyes did not properly repair themselves overnight? What if there was a simple 3-step ritual before bed that could change everything? Today we are not just giving you a list of foods. We are teaching you a doctor's overnight eye renewal ritual. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple, science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter, and to be our wise master of healing rituals for this very special guide, we are joined by a physician who has spent his life teaching the profound wisdom of preparing the body for its sacred nightly work of healing. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. Healing is not a chore. It is a sacred ritual. The night is the time for our body to do its most profound and beautiful repair work. But we must prepare the body for this important work. We must create the right and the proper conditions for the healing to be able to happen. This is so very important. I had a patient, a wonderful woman, who was a master calligrapher. She had spent her entire life creating beautiful art with the steady and precise movements of her hands. But as she entered her 70s, her beautiful, steady hands were being betrayed by her tired and blurry eyes. She told me that the morning blur was making it impossible for her to be able to see the fine and delicate details of her beautiful brushstrokes. Her sacred art was being stolen from her, not by her hands, but by her eyes.
And that is exactly what our guide is all about today. Dr. Hinohara is going to teach us his complete 3-step ritual to be able to support and to heal our eyes while we sleep. In our journey today, as you are winding down your week on this beautiful Friday evening, we will first learn ritual step number 1, clearing the rivers. We will then learn ritual step number 2, setting the guards. And finally, we will discover ritual step number 3, delivering the building materials. It is a true blessing to have this kind of knowledge to be able to turn the simple and beautiful act of preparing for sleep into a powerful and a sacred act of healing. If you are ready to learn how to turn your own nightly routine into a beautiful work of art that can restore your precious vision, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and this is a deep dive into the true art of mindful natural healing. Okay, Master Hinohara, our beautiful and sacred overnight eye renewal ritual begins now. For our patient, the master calligrapher, and for everyone at home who is winding down their week on this beautiful Friday evening and wants to begin their healing journey tonight, what is the very first and most essential step in our ritual?
Yes, the first step of our beautiful ritual is the most logical of all. Before we can send the precious and healing nutrients to our beautiful eyes, we must first make sure that all of the beautiful roads and all of the beautiful rivers that lead to them are open and they are flowing freely. This is ritual step number 1. We must clear the rivers. And for my patient, the beautiful calligrapher, this was a very strange and a very surprising first step for her. When I told her that the first food we would use to be able to help her beautiful eyes was a simple and a very humble prune, she looked at me with great confusion. She said, "But doctor, I thought that the prunes were for my digestion." And I told her, yes, they are. But they also have a second and a very beautiful hidden secret for the beautiful and delicate rivers of your eyes.
And this is such a powerful and a very profound first lesson for all of us. Let's look at the deep and the very beautiful science of why this simple and humble prune is the perfect tool for clearing the rivers that lead to our eyes. the beautiful and the very light-sensitive tissue that is at the back of your eye. Your retina is one of the most metabolically active tissues in your entire body. It is working incredibly hard every single second of the day to be able to convert light into the beautiful and intelligent signals that your brain can understand. And to be able to do this very demanding work, it needs a massive and a very constant supply of oxygen and of nutrients. And this beautiful and precious supply is delivered by a network of the tiniest and the most delicate blood vessels in your entire body. These are your capillaries. For our beautiful ritual today, you can think of these as being the tiny and beautiful rivers that are flowing to your eyes. But as we get older, these beautiful and delicate rivers can become very stiff, they can become very narrow, and they can become very inefficient. This is like trying to water your beautiful garden with a hose that has a kink in it. The beautiful and healing water is there, but it simply cannot get through.
So, the beautiful prune is the tool that helps to unkink the beautiful hose.
That is the perfect and the most beautiful analogy, Doctor. The prunes do this in 3 very powerful and very beautiful ways. The first and most important gift of the prune is its very rich supply of vitamin K1. As the source text for our video so wisely notes, the vitamin K1 is absolutely essential for the health and for the flexibility of our beautiful capillary walls. You can think of it as being the beautiful and strong riverbanks of our rivers. A beautiful study that was published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that the older adults who had a higher intake of this beautiful vitamin K1 had a much better microcirculation, which is the blood flow through these tiny and delicate vessels to all of the delicate tissues of their body, and this includes their beautiful and precious eyes. The second great gift of the prune is its very rich supply of the mineral potassium, and this is so very important for our eyes while we are sleeping. As the source text notes, the pressure inside of your beautiful eyes, your intraocular pressure can naturally rise a little bit while you are in your deep and restorative sleep. And it is this gentle and temporary increase in pressure that can sometimes cause that puffy or that foggy feeling that you have in your eyes when you first wake up in the morning. The beautiful and intelligent potassium helps your body to be able to regulate this fluid pressure much more effectively. And a 2019 study that was published in Ophthalmic Research found that the older adults who had a higher potassium intake had a much lower risk of developing a chronically high intraocular pressure, which is, of course, a major risk factor for glaucoma.
And the beautiful prune has one final and very special gift for our beautiful eyes, does it not?
It does. As the source text notes, the prunes also contain a beautiful and a very helpful amount of the 2 most famous and most powerful eye-protecting antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. As we have discussed in so many of our other videos, these 2 beautiful and intelligent compounds act as your internal sunglasses. They migrate to the very center of your retina, which is called the macula, and they help to shield your delicate and beautiful light-sensing cells from the damaging effects of harmful blue light. So with this one simple and very humble food, you are strengthening the beautiful riverbanks with the vitamin K1, you are regulating the beautiful water level with the potassium, and you are providing a beautiful and a very protective shade for the entire and beautiful garden.
And for my patient, the beautiful calligrapher, after just 3 weeks of this simple and beautiful nightly ritual, she told me something very wonderful. She said, "Doctor, my eyes do not feel so very foggy anymore in the morning. I feel that I am waking up, seeing the world with a new and a very beautiful clarity. She was not just imagining it. Her beautiful and intelligent circulation was beginning to work properly once again.
So what is the practical application of this first and most beautiful ritual step, Doctor? How should our viewers at home be doing this tonight?
The beautiful ritual is very simple. You will look for the beautiful unsweetened and unsulfured prunes. And about 45 minutes to 1 hour before you plan to go to bed, you will mindfully and very slowly eat just 1 or 2 of these beautiful and sweet fruits. You can eat them all on their own, or as the source text notes, you can chop them into a small and a very beautiful bowl of a plain and unsweetened Greek yogurt. And you do not need to worry about the sugar. The beautiful and natural fiber in the prunes makes them a very low glycemic food, which means that they will not spike your blood sugar. In fact, they will help to keep it very stable all throughout the night, which is another very important secret to waking up with clear and with beautiful vision.
It is a truly blessed and a wonderful thing to understand that the first and most powerful step in healing our precious and our very delicate eyes is found in this simple, this humble, and this very beautiful and sweet gift from nature. So our first ritual step in our overnight eye renewal ritual, clearing the rivers, has taught us how to use the humble prune to be able to open up all of the beautiful and delicate pathways of circulation that lead to our precious eyes. It is a powerful and a very profound first step to take as we begin to wind down our week on this beautiful Friday evening. But Master Hinohara, now that the beautiful rivers are flowing freely and all of the precious and healing nutrients can finally arrive, what is the second and equally important step in our sacred nightly ritual?
Yes, now that the beautiful and life-giving rivers are flowing freely to the beautiful and precious village of the eye, we must now post the vigilant and the very powerful guards at the gate to be able to protect that village from all of the dangers of the night. This is ritual step number 2. We must set the guards. And for my patient, the master calligrapher, this was the next beautiful and very important part of her healing ritual. After she had mindfully and very slowly eaten her 2 beautiful prunes, she would then count out a small and a very specific number of our beautiful guards. And our beautiful and very powerful guards for this important mission are the wonderful and the very delicious pistachios.
And guards is the perfect and the most accurate word for them. Let's look at the deep and the very profound science of why we need these powerful guards to be on duty while we are sleeping. I think that many of our viewers believe that when our eyes are closed at night, they are simply resting. But that is not the whole truth, is it?
No. The beautiful and quiet hours of the night are the busiest and the most important time for our beautiful eyes. This is when the true and the most profound healing happens.
That is exactly right. Your beautiful eyes do not simply shut down when you go to sleep. They enter a very active and a very important repair and regeneration cycle. Your beautiful and hard-working retinal cells are busy repairing all of the daily damage. They are clearing out all of the cellular waste products, and they are rebuilding all of the precious and the very important proteins, like the rhodopsin, that you need to be able to see in the dark. And all of this beautiful and very important hard work generates a great deal of cellular exhaust, which is, of course, the oxidative stress and the dangerous free radicals that we talk about so often. And if this beautiful and dangerous oxidative stress is left unchecked all throughout the night, it can begin to cause a great deal of damage to the very delicate and precious cells of our retina and of our optic nerve. So our first and most important guard that we must post is a powerful antioxidant.
Yes. And the first and most beautiful guard that we get from our wonderful pistachios is the beautiful and fat-soluble vitamin E.
And the vitamin E is a true special forces soldier for our eyes. Let's look at the science. The beautiful and light-sensing cells that are in your retina, your rods and your cones are surrounded by a beautiful and a very delicate fatty membrane. And the beautiful and fat-soluble vitamin E is one of the very few antioxidants that is able to slip inside of this delicate fatty membrane. And once it is inside, it acts as a powerful and a very vigilant bodyguard, protecting those precious and beautiful cells from the corrosive and the very damaging effects of oxidative stress right at the very source. So the vitamin E is our beautiful internal bodyguard, a powerful and a very important first guard. But the beautiful pistachios bring a second team of guards to our village, do they not?
Yes, they bring the beautiful and the very famous sunglasses to be able to protect our eyes even in the dark.
That is exactly right. The beautiful pistachios are also a very rich and a very wonderful source of our two most famous and most powerful eye-protecting antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. And as we have learned, these two beautiful and intelligent compounds act as your internal sunglasses. They migrate to the very center of your retina, and they help to shield your delicate and beautiful light-sensing cells from the damaging effects of harmful blue light. And even at night, if you are reading from a tablet or you have a bright lamp on in your room, these beautiful and protective sunglasses are still working very hard to be able to protect your precious and beautiful eyes. So we now have our bodyguards and we have our sunglasses, a beautiful and a very complete team of guards. But doctor, I know that the pistachio has one final and most beautiful hidden secret. It has a master of the night watch.
Yes, and this is perhaps the most beautiful and the most profound gift of all. The beautiful pistachio is one of the richest and most powerful natural food sources of the master of the night watch, which is the beautiful and sleep-inducing hormone melatonin.
And this is such a profound and a very important discovery. Most of us think of melatonin as simply the sleep hormone, but recent and very exciting scientific research, including a beautiful study that was published in the journal Nutrition Neuroscience, has shown that melatonin is also a very powerful and a very direct antioxidant for the beautiful and delicate tissues of the eye. So with this one beautiful and very simple food, you are not only helping your beautiful body to be able to relax and to fall into a deep and a very restorative sleep, but you are also providing a direct and a very powerful protective medicine to your beautiful eyes at the exact same time. And as the source text notes, the beautiful pistachios are also a very good source of magnesium and of vitamin B6, which are two other essential nutrients for the health of our communication cable, the beautiful and precious optic nerve.
And for my patient, the beautiful calligrapher, this was another beautiful and very profound discovery in her healing journey. She told me, Doctor, after I began my beautiful nightly ritual with the pistachios, I noticed that I was sleeping much more deeply and much more peacefully than I had in many, many years. And the bright glare from the headlights when my husband would drive me home at night did not seem to bother my eyes as much anymore. She was feeling the beautiful and the very profound protective power of her new nightly guards.
So what is the practical application of this second and most beautiful ritual step, Doctor?
The beautiful ritual is very simple. You will look for the beautiful unsalted and raw or dry roasted pistachios. And about 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to bed, you will mindfully and very slowly eat just 5 to 7 of these beautiful and delicious nuts. You can eat them along with your beautiful prunes from our first ritual step. The key is to create a beautiful, a quiet, and a very mindful moment of nourishment and of protection for your beautiful body before you begin your blessed and your sacred nightly rest.
It is a truly blessed and a wonderful thing to be able to understand that our healing is so often found in these small, these very gentle, and these very intentional acts of love for our own beautiful and intelligent bodies. And we love sharing this kind of holistic wisdom with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So our first beautiful ritual step, clearing the rivers, has used the humble prune to be able to open up all of the beautiful pathways of circulation to our precious eyes. And our second and very important ritual step, setting the guards, has used the powerful pistachio to be able to protect the delicate village of our retina throughout the long and the very important night. The rivers are now flowing and the village is now safe and it is well protected. But Master Hinohara, as you have always so wisely taught us, a village that is safe but has no materials for repair cannot possibly rebuild. This now brings us to the final and the most profoundly nourishing step of our sacred nightly ritual. As our viewers are enjoying their beautiful Friday evening, what is ritual step number 3?
Yes, now that the beautiful rivers are flowing and the beautiful village is safe, it is now finally time to send in the construction crew and all of their precious and beautiful building materials. This is ritual step number 3. We must deliver the building materials. And our beautiful and very humble but very powerful delivery truck for this important mission is the tiny and the mighty chia seed.
And for your patient, the master calligrapher, I imagine this was the final and the most important piece of her beautiful and healing puzzle.
It was. She had already noticed that her morning vision was becoming a little bit clearer from the prunes, and she was sleeping much more deeply and peacefully from the pistachios. But she still told me that her eyes felt very dry and very scratchy in the morning. She was missing the final and the most important nourishing step. She was missing the beautiful and the very gentle internal lubrication that comes from our final and beautiful food.
And internal lubrication is the perfect and the most beautiful way to describe the profound and the very unique gifts of the chia seed. Let's look at the deep and the very beautiful science of these tiny and magical seeds, because they provide our beautiful eyes with 3 different and very essential building materials. The first and the most important material that they deliver is the beautiful omega-3 fatty acids. The beautiful chia seeds are one of the richest and most powerful plant-based sources of the ALA omega-3s. And these are not just a simple anti-inflammatory fat. They are the primary and the most essential structural brick that your body uses to be able to build and to repair the outer membranes of all of your beautiful cells. And this is especially important for the very delicate and very hard-working cells of your retina. As we get older, these beautiful and delicate membranes can begin to thin out and they can become very brittle. And this is what can cause your eyes to have trouble focusing, and it is what can make them feel so very sensitive to the bright light when you first wake up in the morning. By eating these beautiful chia seeds every single night, you are providing your body with the direct and the most essential raw materials that it needs to be able to rebuild these fragile and very important cell walls.
So, the beautiful omega-3s are the beautiful bricks for our beautiful walls. But doctor, you said that my patient was feeling very dry in her eyes. How do the beautiful chia seeds help with this?
This is the second and the most beautiful and magical gift of the chia seed. It is what I call the internal hydration. When you soak the beautiful and tiny chia seeds in water, they do something truly remarkable. They form a beautiful and a very soft gel-like substance. And this beautiful gel does two very wonderful things for your body while you are sleeping. First, it helps to slow down your digestion, and it helps to keep your blood sugar very stable all throughout the night, which is another very important secret to waking up with clear and with beautiful vision. But second and most importantly for your beautiful dry eyes, this beautiful gel acts like a slow-release internal watering can for your entire body. It provides a slow and a very steady source of hydration to all of your tissues all throughout the night. And this, of course, includes the beautiful and very delicate tear glands that are responsible for keeping your precious eyes moist and very comfortable. So instead of your beautiful eyes drying out while you are sleeping, they are now being gently and beautifully lubricated from the inside out.
So, it is the perfect and the most beautiful internal eye drop. A beautiful and a very profound concept. Now, doctor, what is the third and the final gift of this beautiful and magical seed?
The final and beautiful gift of the chia seed is a very gentle and a very wise one. The beautiful chia seeds are also a very rich source of a very important amino acid that is called tryptophan. And your beautiful and intelligent body uses this tryptophan as the raw material to be able to make two of the most important and most calming chemicals for your beautiful and your peaceful night of rest. It is the precursor to both serotonin, which is the beautiful neurotransmitter that gives you a sense of calm and of well-being. And it is also the precursor to our beautiful sleep hormone, melatonin. So with this one simple and very humble food, you are not only rebuilding your beautiful eyes, and you are hydrating them, but you are also creating a beautiful and a very profound sense of peace in your entire body to be able to allow for that deep and that sacred healing work to be able to happen. Now, doctor, to bring our entire and beautiful ritual together, can you please walk our viewers at home through the final master ritual?
Yes, the master ritual is a beautiful and a very simple and calming way to end your beautiful day. About 45 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to bed, you will create your beautiful healing masterpiece in a small and a very beautiful bowl. You will have your 2 beautiful and soft prunes. You will have your small and very satisfying handful of the beautiful pistachios. And you will have your 1 beautiful tablespoon of the beautiful soaked chia seeds. You can eat all of these beautiful things separately, or as the source text so wisely suggests, you can gently mix them all together in a small and a very beautiful bowl of a plain and unsweetened yogurt. It is a beautiful and a very satisfying nightly ritual, and the most important part of this entire ritual is not just the food itself, but it is the beautiful intention that you bring to it. You are not just eating a simple snack. You are performing a beautiful and a very sacred act of love and of deep care for your own beautiful body.
And doctor, let's go back one final time to our patient, the beautiful master calligrapher, whose eyes were betraying her beautiful and steady hands.
This was the beautiful and the very successful conclusion to her healing story. The master calligrapher, who was losing her beautiful and sacred art, learned how to perform this simple and this very beautiful nightly ritual. Every single night, she would create her beautiful and healing masterpiece. She would clear the rivers with her beautiful prunes. She would set the guards with her beautiful pistachios. And she would deliver the building materials with her beautiful and her very magical chia seeds. And after just a few weeks of this beautiful, gentle, and very consistent practice, something truly wonderful began to happen. The terrible and frustrating morning blur that had been clouding her beautiful vision for so long finally began to disappear. She told me that for the very first time in many, many years, she could see all of the fine and the very delicate and beautiful details of her own beautiful brushstrokes with a new and a very profound sense of clarity. Her beautiful art and her beautiful joy had been returned to her.
That is a truly beautiful and a blessed story, doctor. It is a powerful reminder that our healing is so often found not in a dramatic and a very complicated procedure, but in the simple, the quiet, and the very sacred and beautiful rituals of our own daily lives. Doctor, that was an absolutely beautiful and a truly sacred masterclass. You have taken the simple act of a bedtime snack and you have transformed it into a profound 3-step ritual for healing. Your overnight eye renewal ritual is a powerful and a very hopeful new way for all of us to fight back against that frustrating morning blurry vision and the chronic discomfort of dry eyes. This is a truly profound approach to our long-term eye health. By learning to clear the rivers, set the guards, and deliver the building materials, our viewers can now take a proactive step against the fear of age-related vision loss. This important and beautiful knowledge is a true cornerstone of a proactive senior health strategy. It is a practical, a gentle, and a very delicious way to be able to nourish our precious eyesight. This is a very powerful tool for your overall senior health. Now, for our viewers at home who are watching on this beautiful Friday evening and are now inspired to begin their own sacred ritual tonight, what is the master ritual? What is the simple and the very actionable plan that they can start this weekend?
Yes, the master ritual is not just about the food. It is about the beautiful and the very sacred intention that you bring to the food. I will give you a simple 3-part action plan for your first beautiful ritual tonight. First, tonight, about 1 hour before you plan to go to sleep, you will prepare your sacred space. You will turn off the television. You will put down your phone. You will find a quiet and a very peaceful corner of your home. This is a beautiful and a very important time that you are now creating for yourself and for your own healing. Second, you will assemble your masterpiece. You will take a small and a very beautiful bowl, and into that bowl you will place your 2 beautiful prunes, your small and very satisfying handful of pistachios, and your beautiful and magical soaked chia seeds. You will look at these beautiful and humble gifts from nature, and you will give a small and a very quiet prayer of gratitude for their beautiful and healing medicine. And third, and this is the most important step of all, you will partake with intention. You will not eat this beautiful and healing meal in a rush. You will eat it slowly. You will eat it mindfully. You will feel the beautiful textures. You will taste all of the beautiful and subtle flavors. With every single bite, you are sending a beautiful and a very powerful message of love and of deep care to your own beautiful body. This is how the beautiful and the sacred ritual of healing truly begins. I want to leave you with this one final and most important thought. Your beautiful eyes have been a faithful and a very loyal servant to you for your entire life. They have shown you the beautiful faces of your loved ones. They have shown you the beautiful colors of 1,000 sunsets. They have shown you all of the beauty and all of the wonder of this blessed world. This simple and very humble nightly ritual is not a chore. It is a beautiful and a very sacred act of gratitude. It is your beautiful and loving way of saying thank you to your precious eyes for a lifetime of beautiful service. When you bring this beautiful and sacred intention to your food, the healing becomes so much more deep and so much more profound.
That is a beautiful and a very powerful message to end on, Doctor. Thank you for teaching us this beautiful and sacred ritual for our eyes. And for all of you who are watching at home, if you found this guide empowering and it gave you a new and a more hopeful way to care for your precious vision, please give this video a like. It truly helps others who may be feeling that their blurry vision is inevitable to be able to find this important and life-changing information. And be sure to share it with a friend or a family member who you know cherishes their eyesight. If you have not already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. It is completely free, and it ensures that you will not miss our next deep dive into your health and your well-being. We would be so honored to have you as a part of our growing community of healing artisans. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know which step of the overnight eye renewal ritual, clearing the rivers, setting the guards, or delivering the building materials, are you most excited to begin tonight? Please share your first step in the comments below. And finally, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your personal doctor or an eye care specialist before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions like diabetes or are taking any medications. Our conversation today is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for the direct medical advice from your own trusted physician. Thank you for being with us. Be well.